Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and niggas talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
Yo, I don't know if y'all catch this. Like usually when we start the show, I usually try to clear my throat, but like to the beat. I don't know if y'all catch that. Maybe you viewers at home catch it, but
smooth.
Well, yeah, gotta be. Welcome back to the Post Podium Podcast. This is another live episode. Once again, this is the home of the all true no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
Melly Mac,
this Key,
and our producer Junie on the ones and twos over there. We back. But listen, this is so much bigger. Wait, what we're saying? Are y'all gonna go off this show? Oh man, go off on what? What is there to go off on?
Whatever
I mean,
do you
it's a
mean?
playoff game. We got to be nice to Sean because we need to win. So ain't no reason for me to go off.
What? We got to be nice to Sean because we need to win.
Yeah, we need to win.
I know we need to win, but we ain't got to be nice to Sean because we need to win. We nice to Sean
Hey,
because Sean is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
You heard it here from the mouth. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I ain't the only one. I'm not
Let's
the only
go,
one.
Buffalo.
Okay. All right. Let's go, Buffalo. I'm with it. All right. So we're going to start off with stuff we heard. What y'all got?
You want the first, Mac?
No, you go first.
I got a lot of stuff. So
Oh, you got a lot of stuff?
I got a lot of
That's
stuff.
all right, go ahead.
It's best you go first. Nah, go ahead.
Get it
Okay.
in.
Let's get the hands warmed up. Stuff we've heard. We've had a couple high-profile coaches that are no longer coaches.
Yeah.
Ron Rivera
We
finished
knew,
with a 26-40 record as the Washington head coach.
we knew he was going to be out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
The enemy was like a
Now-
last-ditch effort to save his job.
if Matt Eberflus kept his job,
I don't know how. But what that says, though, is they plan on keeping Justin Fields.
Fields better run.
Yeah.
He better run.
Yeah, buddy.
I broke my shoelace. I'm out of here. Pete Carroll, 227 and 131. Mike Vrabel, 54 and 45. And Billy Belichick,
Yep.
266 and 121. Now, I don't know what you guys were doing in 2001, but I can tell you I was probably sleeping through some kind of class in sophomore year.
2001.
Actually, I'm sorry, 2000, sophomore year.
I was probably skipping school at that point.
Yeah, I was a sophomore too. Though. I started in '99.
Yeah.
Well, not you were a sophomore in the second half of that year.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
I was.
That's
Yeah,
right.
me and A got the first half. We took that. Well, you know what's funny about that sidebar? I'm talking to my mom last night, right, about my illustrious high school career. And I told her I spilled some tea.
What sport, Keith?
Man, I spilled some tea.
Okay.
My mom was like, "You were just in high school doing whatever you wanted, weren't you?" I said,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I was going to classes I wasn't supposed to go to. I was not going to classes I was supposed to go. It was crazy.
Yep.
But the reason why I asked that is because what happened in 2000?
The Ravens won the Super Bowl.
We were 16,
Right.
15 going on 16. You were 14 going on 15, right? Did you know the last time we saw a Patriots team that didn't have Bill Belichick as a head coach, gas was $1.51?
Wow.
Did you know minimum wage increased from $4.25 to $5.15?
I remember that. That's where I started working.
Wow.
Did you know the Billboard #1 hit, I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden?
Who is Savage Garden?
You didn't watch MTV.
I did not watch MTV.
Shame on you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sheltered.
Yeah.
Very, very sheltered.
It's okay. It's okay. And I have a couple more stats.
All right.
The same day Bill Belichick was hired. Let's see. We have. Actually, no, we're just going to go in the same month. Make it easy. Mark Cuban purchased a majority stake of the Dallas Mavericks for $285 million.
I remember that. I for sure remember that.
What happened on January 8th? The Music City Miracle.
Oh. Cut me deep.
I know.
That cut
The 26 People's Choice Awards. Harrison Ford, Julia Roberts, Drew Carey, and Callista Flockhart won awards. Junie, you know who any of those people are? Never mind.
You know who Harrison Ford is? Do you know who Julia Roberts is? Okay, never mind.
Marino's last game was January 9th.
We were just asking a
Wait a
question.
minute.
You
Where's your
might.
mic?
I probably wasn't even born yet.
Listen. When Keyshawn was 10 years old, he could sing a full-on Beatles song with no issue.
You know what's sad about that? It's true.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Mom.
I
Thanks,
don't
Mom.
just be
It's
pulling
true.
this stuff out of nowhere. I know you.
Every time they ask me questions like, yo, who's this? Who's that? I don't know these people.
I got a
Okay,
question
all
for you,
right.
though.
That's
I got a question for you. Where the freak is your mic?
That's right. We didn't plug you in.
It don't even matter.
Oh, you got off on one.
Oh yeah, he got away with one. The
You got
cord is
off on
somewhere
one.
over here. but
Michael Jordan became part owner of the Wizards.
that's a nice goatee. It's not bad. Usually
With
his
the-
gotees be terrible.
With the
but-
Lou Gossett earring.
Yeah, right.
He got the singlet. That's crazy.
Singlet.
Malone passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for third all time.
That's the perfect picture from Malone too. He just looked mad,
That's-
like
that's
he
how he
arguing with
is.
somebody. Like that's right.
That's how he is.
Yep.
So, if you remember these things, you remember before Bill Belichick was a coach in the dynasty that is the New England Patriots.
Ain't that something?
Mel, you got anything? That's all I got for that, but I got more.
So speaking of Bill Belichick and the Patriots, how do you guys feel about Gerard Mayo being the new head coach for the New England? Should Bills fans be worried? Should we be worried about this or not?
No, not
No.
at all. It's another defensive head coach. I mean, listen, y'all know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Oh yeah. So I don't think they announced it yet, but
No, they
Schefter.
did.
They
It's-
announced
Oh, they
it.
did announce
today,
it?
yeah.
Because remember
Yeah.
when we talked about it in our preseason primer, I said Gerard Mayo.
Yep. You sure did.
I have no.
You
I
called
have
it, bro.
no. I have no connections. I am naked out here, just talking out myself,
Reading tea leaves,
Yo,
bro.
reading them tea leaves.
Do
Woo!
you think Vabro gets a head coach or he goes to an offensive or a defensive coordinator? Like I think he's gonna wind up somewhere in New England on somehow
Why
on the
did he get
staff. He's gonna be in
fired?
New England.
No, I don't think he's going to get there. But well,
You don't think so?
He got fired because the GM traded away AJ Brown. I'm speculating when I'm saying this, but my theory is AJ Brown gets traded because you have a run first offense basically, and the quarterback that you have playing in that system is not really good enough to get you past maybe an AFC championship. I mean, I don't even think he really played well in that game. So you've got a playoff caliber quarterback, but not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, and they found his ceiling really fast. So I was actually shocked by that firing because they found Will Levis. And Will Levis seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was part of the team that drafted him. So I don't know. Maybe they want to go with a young offensive mind, which is what the rest of the league is trending towards. But
I think it was a fall off because if you remember, they knocked the Patriots. Tom Brady's last year with the
They sure
Patriots, they
did.
knocked them out.
they sure did.
And then this year they don't even make it.
Yep.
So I think people are just like, all right, dude, like, come on, bro. Like, we was at this tier and now we going down. Like, it's cool if you progress or you improve, but once you start to regress, I don't know about that.
Right.
I mean, that's just weird to me, though. Honestly, you get a quarterback like you said who has shown promise that you drafted. You lost what could have been his number one target. Your running back is old as dirt now.
Yeah, and I don't think he coming back. He did his farewell the last game.
And
He
really,
invited the fans and everything.
Yep, your number two target in that offense was so dependent on your number one target. Like Corey Davis couldn't get anything going if he didn't have AJ Brown going off.
No, because
And-
Corey Davis is he was overrated from the jump.
Yeah,
He
agreed.
was just hidden.
Yep. All right. Well, they are talking in Philly about firing Nick Sirianni if he does not make it
I saw
past this first round.
Yo, listen, I saw the stat when we played the Philly game. We was 6-6. They was 10 and what?
One.
10 and 1.
Yep.
And you saw how they finished the season. They was the hottest thing smoking in the NFC. And look what happened. Like,
They finished 11
Dude.
and 6.
how do you do that, man?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what really happens is you get a blueprint out there. The Bills set the blueprint.
Man.
Yeah.
After we played them,
I wonder did we
Yeah.
put that out there, man? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
is how you beat them.
yeah.
Yeah, because every team they only won one more game after that. After they beat us. But what's interesting is I had a chance to talk to an Eagles fan that was in town today, and he confirmed it. He said they want him out of there. But I asked him. I said, are you proud of this culture you have of, you know, the second a guy starts dipping a little bit, get him out of there? He's like, yeah, absolutely, I love it. You know, it really made me think, you know, because I know I kind of talked about, you know, the way that, you know, Bills fans approach the Sean McDermott conversation. You know, it really made me think about the last 4 to 5 years of history of that franchise. They have 2 Super Bowl appearances by 2 different coaches. One of them won one and then had a bad year the following year and got fired. Then they brought in Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni takes until his second year to make it to the Super Bowl. And really, they should have won that game. They should have won that game. There's no reason why they shouldn't have won that game, but we know it was a penalty that kind of gave the game away. Anyway, I mean, without that penalty, they have 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, right? So I want to ask y'all this. Is it practical? Is it practical the way that Eagles fans are, or is it more practical, or is it more of a detriment to that team the way that the fans are, as far as the second you start messing up, you out of there, regardless of the success you had? Because, I mean, keep in mind, Nick Sirianni was just in the Super Bowl last year.
I mean, it really does. To me, it doesn't matter. It's what have you done for me lately? So, you know, like you said with Doug Peterson and Frank Reich and that regime, when they won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles,
right?
That wasn't even their starter, and they won with him, and then they dipped a little bit and got rid of him. They have a culture of seeking, you know, year in and year out the same result, and they're unrelenting. They're not forgiving. That goes with the culture of the city. You know, right. Philadelphia it embodies them. Right. You know, the same way you talk about Buffalo, the blue collar, this, that, and third. They're not embodying us because you're calling us a good enough team. You're calling us a good enough city. Right. You know, we're a participation trophy award city. But I think we need to shift that culture. And I think that I don't think you have to want blood every time somebody's out of there or somebody falls apart, because things happen. But if it becomes a trend, you got to make a move.
Right.
Definitely got to.
Yeah, you might have to just turn it on and off. I think it only goes 30 minutes. Anyway, so I don't want to completely hijack stuff we heard, but I did want to make this point, listening to your point. I want to point everybody back to Andy Reid's tenure there. I'm not entirely sure how long he was there in his entirety, but he took the team to 4 consecutive NFC championships. And if I'm not mistaken, he was there almost 10 years, right? And it could be longer. But my point is this. They went an extended period of time, even though the fan base is how it is, they stuck it out with Andy Reid for a long time.
It was 14 years.
It's 14. Wow. Yeah, that's – okay. So – let me ask you guys this. Would you guys take Andy Reid's career for Sean McDermott here with the Buffalo Bills? As you know what? Let's just leave it at that. Would you guys take that career for Sean, the same career that Andy Reid had with the Eagles, having that same career here with Sean McDermott, and then moving on?
I'm going to say no. The reason why I'm going to say no is I know he was loved in Philly, and Phillies, when he was there, they always had a good team. They was always competing in the playoffs. But 15 years, I want a ring, man. You know what I'm saying? And looking at our situation, it'd be different if we didn't have like a top-tier quarterback. And I was looking at this, the Buffalo Bills, the trend of all the coaches we had, all the quarterbacks that was in and out of here. And the thing that was, we never had a quarterback at this caliber. Right? So I feel like all those draft picks that we got, all those stars that we like, oh, we're going to waste them because we didn't have the foundation you need to win a championship. And I think it starts with the QB1.
Right.
So I would say, since that we have a QB1 who is one of the top in the league, we should have a Super Bowl ring.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I don't feel that it should take us 15 years to get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because each year we don't get it. That's one less year that he has on his contract. That's one less year where he's getting older and older, and skills and talent might start to diminish because he's getting older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People can't do it forever. Everybody can't be like Tom Brady and play for 20 years.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? So I would say no. I would definitely, with the caliber that we have, I would want a Super Bowl ring.
Can you give me 1 second, June? Can you fix the focus on this on Mel's camera real quick? It's just coming across a little blurry. Key, what's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely not. I mean, I got it up on the screen here. You can see it took him 6 years to get to the NFC Championship. He has 6 seasons of over 60% win percentage. And, I mean, you're looking at what else do you see there? If you look in this right column, you see a whole bunch of blanks.
Right.
You know, so that tells you right there they didn't get anything notable.
How many Super Bowls did they go through? Was it just the one against New England?
Just the one.
Wow.
Just the one in 2004.
Wow. So in 15 years, they've been to one Super Bowl.
15 years, one Super Bowl. Yep.
And they had Donovan McNabb, so he was a top quarterback.
But you also got to look at the offense they had. Their offense, they had Todd Pinkston, James Thrash, and that's not going to get it done. I mean, the Terrell Owens year, that was a Terrell Owens year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They relied on Brian Westbrook. They got, you had Deshaun Jackson as a youngster. So there's no excuse for this kind of production. No, and you look at how long he lingered after the NFC Championship. They were chasing for 7 more years after they got to the bowl.
Wow.
To no avail. I mean, you're out in the playoffs year and year and year and year, and and that goes into why they have a short leash with Doug Peterson, with Sirianni's and stuff like that, because they're not willing to wait another 16 years to go somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
And again, they got it's not like they don't have the talent. They got the talented players. It'd be different. It'd be like a team a team that doesn't have quite. So we talk about the Titans. Will Levis is good. I think he's good, but I don't know if he's good enough to get to the Super Bowl. I don't know yet. We don't know. The verdict is still out on him yet.
I think he's good enough to lead a team or to be on a team.
Yeah.
But I think he doesn't have the weapons, and he must not have had the front office or the offensive coordinator to do so.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he wasn't going to be able to get the weapons he needed to be successful anytime soon. So I mean, that's we'll find out about that later on as far as who they're interested in, what their plan is. But
when is Philly playing tomorrow? Are they playing tomorrow or are they playing on Sunday?
I think they're playing Sunday.
Okay.
Who's playing tomorrow? The Chiefs and Dolphins are playing tomorrow on Peacock. Yeah. What kind of mess is that?
I think I got it.
Huh? I know. I got to check my Amazon Prime subscription and see if that's part of it.
I mean, I'm not clamoring to get to Dolphins and Chiefs anyway, but
they actually play. They play Monday.
But that game is Monday.
That game
is
wow!
Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Green Bay, Dallas at 3:30. They got Rams and Detroit at 7, and then of course we play at 1.
Okay. What else you got for stuff we heard, Key?
Stuff we heard. Back to stuff. I text you. I was listening to the Broncos game, the Broncos show we had. Man, that show was, if you guys have not seen the Broncos post game that we did, I think that's the show where I said, I'm salty. I said, you said, can I say it? I said, nah, don't say it. I'm salty.
You wouldn't even let me get through it.
I said, I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm unapologetically salty. I got sodium. I got all sorts of issues going on. But in that, I thought it was interesting that we mentioned the expose that didn't come out yet. We both mentioned an expose that had to happen for Sean to change.
Yeah.
We said that in that show.
Tyler Dunn report, yep.
And we didn't know about it yet. We mentioned McDermott buying talent because he can't adapt. We discussed Joe Brady's calls. We discussed I said this was a good ass show on my notes. There was mention of
sorry, Ken.
There was mention of you saying hug the butt and smooch the cheeks. There was mention of this stuff.
I might have been very upset in that episode.
You said hug the butt and smooch the cheeks. I said, wow. I mean, you broke my character when you said that.
It was after the Broncos lost?
After the Broncos lost.
Yeah.
Because I went in.
I gotta go back and watch.
You
it.
gotta
I'm
watch it,
not
guys.
entirely
Please
sure of the
go listen
context
to the
of that.
Broncos. I don't. If you watched it, watch it again. It's hilarious. I don't care about views. I just want you guys to laugh at how mad me and my cohort were.
Oh man, yeah. It was. I mean, obviously that was the final straw for whoever let the Tyler Gunn report out too. They wasn't having it after that anymore either.
Not at all.
But yeah.
And the last thing I got. Did you guys watch the Steelers game? The Steelers Ravens game?
I saw half of it.
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
parts. I didn't watch all of it.
Okay. I feel cheated.
You feel cheated?
Yeah.
Why?
Leonard Floyd owes me.
Why?
Owes me big. Because I don't know if you saw, but Jadeveon Clowney got his whatever sack and a $750,000 bonus.
Yeah.
The man danced. They stopped the game dang near. And, I mean, he was doing all this gesturing.
Yeah.
What did Leonard Floyd do? He owes me a dance. He owes me something. I'm telling you right now, if
know
I don't
what?
see this on the next show, he did a
Jones-
great dance.
Jones did the same thing in KC. Like he went off
See?
the field and like they stopped the game
See?
and everything. Like when he got his 1.25 million, like
See?
it was they was celebrating. It was a wrap.
This man was doing a jig for $750. I need Leonard Floyd to get out there and do so. He need to do the chicken head. he better cry, baby, after his next sack. Try again, Motosoka.
Man.
Try again.
I don't think Sean's gonna allow that.
Leonard Floyd's on a 1-year deal.
Listen,
I don't care what you do.
They still got 4 games to play. I don't think Sean is going for that.
But Leonard Floyd is 32 years old?
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd is 32 years old on a 1-year deal.
He a grown man.
He can say, yeah.
He do what he want. I ain't here next year.
Yeah, okay.
Unless y'all
He's like,
pay
you don't
me.
want me?
Listen.
He said, when the last time you had 11 sack player on your team?
Right.
You don't want me? Go
That-
get Mario Williams back.
No,
Try that.
Oh, no.
Try that.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Try that. So Leonard Floyd better do a jig. No, he better make a snow angel because it's going to be snow all on the field. I want to see it.
You know what's going to end up happening.
What?
Because Sean ain't got nothing to lose now.
I want Sean to do a snow angel.
Sean is not going to do it. What he's going to do is he going to go suplex Leonard Floyd for dancing on the field. That's what he going to end up doing.
Yo, a Greco-Roman joint?
Right. Yeah, that's what he do. That's what he do. I ain't got nothing to lose now.
Wow.
That's what he going to do.
The Billy the Back suplex. Rick Steiner style.
June, do me a favor. Take the gray cord out of the camera for Max shot and fix the focus on it because it's still coming through blurry on here. I know it looks clear there, but make sure it's clear on the camera itself. You get what I'm saying? Take the cord out, fix the focus, then put the cord back in. Okay, so let's move on to the front 5. Is that all you had for?
I had some stats that don't even need comments. Evidently, no 7 seed has beaten a 2 seed since the playoffs have moved to a 7 team.
Being a 2.
You know, per conference playoff. So now I'm nervous again.
Who do we have going against?
What's that?
Let me look up the bracket. Playoff picture. No, I want the bracket. Is it ESPN have it?
Which one are you looking at?
The playoff bracket.
This year's?
Yeah. No, go back.
And also, I was listening to.
There we go.
Oh, go ahead.
So we have Green Bay playing Dallas. You know what? A lot of people are sleeping on that. I think Green Bay's got a real shot of beating that team. Green Bay can run the ball. I mean, think about it. The Bills have slower receivers than what Green Bay has. Right?
Yeah.
Christian Watson can get behind that defense easily.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they have to keep the safeties back. Right? If Green Bay comes with a good game plan, the safeties have to stay back because they have to account for that, right? Green Bay also has another burner on the team that they throw the ball deep to. So safeties got to stay back. If the safeties stay back, you can get those linebackers the same way the Bills did it.
Yeah, I don't really respect Dallas that much. So I mean, I'm still going to say. Go.
I don't really respect Aaron Jones like that.
Well, see, my thing is, Dak. Dak is Dak. Whatever. I mean, CD Lamb, he can only do so much. But yeah, I don't see Dak becoming a force. I'm still going to say they're going to win. I'm going to be mad about it, but there's a validity to Aramis' point that Green Bay could win it. I don't think it's going to be a blowout at all. But I think Dallas may edge them out in terms of Jordan Love versus the field.
Yeah. I mean, we also have to keep in mind, this is the NFL, and do they want their top grossing franchise of all sports in the world to be in the bigger picture, or do they want little old Green Bay to take another shot at it?
Right.
So, I don't want to get in a hard stance on conspiracy theories, but
yeah, please don't.
I mean,
Please, Lord, don't.
there's something to be said for some of the stuff that we've seen over the last.
You want me to
few
start
years.
crying on this show?
I'm sorry.
I will
Okay.
cry.
All
'Cause
right,
my
my bad.
I believe it is all about sportsmanship.
You want some shades?
I might need them, some dark glasses.
Sunglasses at night.
And also, Dodson may not play, so it's looking like Balin Spector will get to start over Dorian Williams.
Really?
Yeah.
Dorian Williams is getting shafted, man. This better not be another situation like James Cook where Dorian Williams comes in next year and he just turns out to be this. Well, actually, no, that's not even going to be possible because Milano's going to be back next year and you still got Terrell Bernard. So Dorian Williams is not even going to see the field.
And
basically, we just drafted a backup linebacker at what? He was a number 2 pick, right?
Who, Dorian? No.
Was he a third round pick?
Third.
Yeah, so a third round pick on a backup linebacker.
Well, I mean, I thought they drafted him to be Terrell Bernard backup anyway. I don't know why they took him because everything that you see on the field, and they said it, he over pursues at 100 miles an hour. He doesn't have any kind of processing skill right now, so he's a liability. So, I mean, while all the measurables, everything, everybody was excited about his hitting, everybody was excited about his 4.2 speed, it's not going to translate. And that's why I tell that's why when it comes to the combine and things like that, I put a little stock in it, but it doesn't determine whether I like a guy or not.
Right.
You could be slow and be great and be fast and be terrible. And so he's got to pick it up in the offseason this year.
Yeah.
And lastly, the Steelers are very confident. I was listening to the Locked On Steelers podcast, and they actually believe that they have a chance at winning this.
Disrespect, man.
Disrespect. I mean, they're looking at the possibilities of the weather determining how we play, and the weather would determine us to play opposite the way we like to play. But I liken this to when we played the Ravens. What was that, 2 years ago? Remember, before the Ravens game, it was supposed to be a snow event. I was nervous because we couldn't run at the time. Like, we got to run or get into an arms race against the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, in that running game, we're screwed, and nothing fell. So hopefully we get something similar where it doesn't affect us like it did. Like it could.
Right.
And with that, I'll turn it over to you, buddy.
All right. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Junie. Junie is fixing the focus. We apologize for any technical difficulties going on right now. I swore I had this fixed. But let's get to these. Let's get to the front five here. Just find it. Okay. All right. Y'all ready? I got some good ones today.
I'm scared. I'm always scared, though.
Now, y'all got your thinking cap on?
I got a cap on. I got a cap.
But is it a
I don't know if
thinking
it's a thinker. We'll find out.
All right, check this out. Here's the first question. Is this wild card game more about toughness or talent?
This one is going to be about toughness.
Toughness? Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, I don't want to sound like McDermott, but this game is going to be played on the trenches. And that's something that we haven't proven that we can do against ground and pound teams because there's not many of them left. You got Najee Harris, who doesn't really impress me that much, but you also have the other guy.
Jaylen Warren.
What's his name?
Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, Jaylen Warren, who, he's scary. If they let him run the ball, we got to plug those holes up. But then they also have the guard, Tramel. What's the guard from Philly? He got traded. Somali. The guy I would have drafted on Madden if I had a chance.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know you talking.
Yeah, I can look it up and try to get through it. If I got Takuma, then I'm gonna get it. But but yeah, I mean, I think what I'm most afraid of is they don't care about running the ball. They don't care about especially with Mason Rudolph, they don't care
in terms
about
of like running it 70 times in a game. You talking about? Is that
if
what
it
you're
works. I mean, they ran 40. They ran 40 in the last game.
Yeah.
And that's about where they are. That's what they want to do. So, I think with the elements, with the physicality that they bring on the defense and offensive line, with their linebackers, we got to outgrid them. We know we're talented.
Yeah.
But what I'm most worried about, as I always say, is who are we going to see? Are we going to see the Bills that blow Miami out, or are we going to see the Bills that almost lose to the Giants?
Okay. I'll go last. What you got?
So I think I'm gonna go with Key.
You don't know what that means, Keyshawn. You don't know what that means.
I think I'm gonna go with Key with this one. I think it's not really on. This is not about really talent. Only because again the stakes are higher because it's the playoffs. Like talent can get you so far, but if me and you was lined up on the line and you're better than me, you might not be better than me on every play. You know what I'm saying? I might get you on one of them plays, and it's going to be crucial plays. Because we know the game of the NFL games, like, there's a lot of teams that came in, thought that they were going to crush teams, and had a dose of reality when they got there because that team didn't show up, or the team that they was expecting to show up did show up. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, like Keyshawn said, man, it depends on which team shows up on Sunday. I'm in good spirits, man. Like, I saw the in the game speech by Josh, he looked ready, man. He looked ready. He looked focused. The team looked focused. Like, they all looked like they were on one accord, and that they just know, man. Like, we need 4 more. Like, it's 4 more. Like, they're not looking back.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're gonna take this team lightly at all. But I don't like the overconfidence I feel like the Steelers fans got and the Steelers team got. Like, you think like timeout. This is the second best team in the AFC. You're not just gonna come at our house and think that it's gonna be an easy one for you. Like, I don't know who they think is playing against on the opposite side. Like, 17 is still lining up. Diggs is still lining up. Like, this ain't gonna be no cakewalk.
I'm telling you, they really if they see snow on that field, they're gonna feel better about the game.
And then here's the other
Steelers?
thing.
Each Steelers will.
Here's the other thing. My bad. Here's the other thing. The Steelers, I'm not afraid of their passing game whatsoever. Right? Like, they're hit or miss. Like, George Pickens I think he's a great receiver.
Right.
Right? In the last couple games, he had 2 games where he had 0 catches. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how you think that you're that confident, like your offense is rolling on all cylinders, because it's not. Like, some days you're good, some days you're not. And the run game, they run a lot, but they're not getting a lot of yards per carry. So I don't know why they think that. Oh yeah, we got Buffalo. Like yeah. Like, I don't know why you want Buffalo like it's an easy take, because it's not.
Well, I know Warren is about 5 a carry. They just don't play him that often. But to your point, I don't want to discount Mason Rudolph, and this is why. When I watched them play, the Ravens, they played the majority of their starters on defense, but Rudolph, he's not a predetermined thrower. Rudolph changes his mind mid-play. There's been plenty of times where he's looked downfield, it's not there, dump off for a big pickup. And that's what I'm afraid of with our defense when it comes to the physicality. You have to get off blocks. You have to adjust. You can't get lazy. That big pass to Deontay, what's his name? Deontay Johnson. That play was made possible by a safety that got his eyes caught just slightly. He slid to his right just enough to allow a crease for Rudolph to throw the ball in there. And Rudolph is not going to get flustered. He doesn't get flustered when he's pressured. He takes a hit on every play if he has to. He's going to make sure the read that he has is the read he wants. And that's governed by the fact he hasn't thrown an interception this year. But he's throwing, I think he's averaging 230 yards a game this season.
Wow.
So he's precise, he's confident, and he's not afraid to change the trajectory of the play by going to a player that wasn't the 1, 2, or 3 option.
Yeah.
So I will say I'm with Mel to an extent. It didn't work, but it's because, well, let me put it like this. It worked because it didn't work, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like Pickens, they took Pickens out of the game. I think Pickens got 1 target with the 7-minute mark of the first half.
0 catches.
You got what?
0 catches.
No, he didn't catch it, but I think they threw it his way finally with
yeah.
But see, that was fine because Deontay Thompson went off, and so did what's the guy's name? I keep forgetting his name.
Running back?
Warren.
Oh, no. Najee had 112 yards and a touchdown.
No, I'm talking about receiving. How many had? Yeah, receiving. They were catching the ball receiving too. Yeah,
receiving game. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So I mean, yeah, it didn't look great on the ground, but my fear is that you look at Warren; he's a number 5 in elusive percentage, and number 5 in breakaway percentage. So against that porous D line, I'm expecting a healthy dose of Shaq Lawson, a healthy dose of Greg Rousseau, and hopefully they sit Vaughn down again for Linval Joseph and maybe run some heavy in the middle, because you got to keep those athletic linebackers free.
Right. Okay. LXB writes in, I think it'll boil down to playoff experience. Yeah. I agree. I mean, if that's the case, we win. They have one guy on their team right now with Super Bowl experience, and that's Cam Hayward. So I mean, does one guy make that big of a difference? Depends on what position he plays.
Yeah, not that position.
But I'll take our recent playoff experience versus all the young guys that they got that really haven't been in those kind of games. I think this about this point. I think the one thing that has gotten overlooked is what kind of game this is going to be. We're talking about 45-mile-an-hour winds, right? A guy like Mason Rudolph doesn't have the kind of arm that Josh Allen has, right? So if they can't throw the ball and we're playing a game where they have to run and their pass game is predictable, I will take Josh's arm talent any day of the year, because I know he can sling it in 45-mile-an-hour winds. We've seen him do it against the Patriots, right? So, and he threw it deep too, and literally was like millimeters off the mark. So for me, I think this game really comes down to talent, because I think it is going to be Josh's arm talent that puts us head and shoulders above the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of being able to execute and score points. If they can't pass the ball, they have no unpredictability. Mason Rudolph has no effect on the game, and the Bills are going to easily be able to shut that down. Anytime a team is one-dimensional against Sean McDermott's defense, it's game over. We've seen it with the Dolphins. We've seen it with Washington this year. We've seen it with the Raiders this year. If he can push you into a corner, and the only way that you can fight is with your left hand, except for those of you who are left-handed, you have to fight with your right hand.
I don't want to fight my right hand. That's my short arm. That's my short arm. I'm not doing that.
Short arm.
That's why you have no mic. Nobody cares.
Right. Nobody can hear you.
Oh.
He said it with his chest.
He said it with his chest. He came with a diaphragm with that.
Okay. Yeah. So to me, I think it's more about Josh's arm talent than anything else. It's a cold weather game. I think both teams are under the impression that this is going to be a toughness game to begin with. But the Bills have been playing playoff football for the last month.
I will caution. The last snow game, Josh Allen he went 14 for 27, 122, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I would say to that's all we need in this game.
Hey, to be fair,
all we need in this game.
To be fair, Mason Rudolph had 152 yards against the Ravens, and mind you, you take away that 70-yard catch, he don't even break 100 yards.
You know you can't take stuff away.
He don't even break 100 yards without that catch.
Josh Allen won with 76 yards passing.
But what I'm saying though, like, dude, like the only thing that I give Mason Rudolph credit is his completion percentage. Like, he only missed 2 passes that whole game. Mm-hmm. He was 18 for 20. That's the one thing I will give him credit. He's very accurate. When he throws the ball, like, he's very accurate. However, dude, I hate to say it because I don't want to sound
don't say it. No, don't say it. Don't say it. He's over cocky. Don't do it.
Their receivers they're not getting off on us.
No,
they not.
No.
And if, like Ace said, like, if you know you can't throw and all you got to do is you're gonna run and we know it, How you gonna beat us?
Right.
Says
We
the
know what
man
you're
with
gonna
the
do.
Bills chain on him. I'm gonna listen to him because he got a huge chain on him.
Yeah.
Right. Anytime you see a guy with a chain that
See a
big
guy
on,
with that kind of chain
you
on?
open your ears
He
up
ain't
because he
playing.
got something to say.
He dead serious.
Okay, question number 2. I mean, I guess you guys have kind of answered it, but I'll ask it anyway. Who wins the toughness battle in your mind?
Wait, so okay.
You said
I must have missed it.
in your minds the game is more about toughness than talent.
Now,
Who
we would have
wins
said
the ta-
talent. You would have said who wins the talent battle?
I mean, it's Josh Allen all day long. I've basically answered the question already by saying that.
So why you asked the question? Okay.
It wasn't just for me, but yeah.
No, what you got?
I'm gonna break it down with offense and defense.
Cool.
So I think our offense is gonna be tougher than their defense.
Ooh, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, because I think they want it more.
Wow.
Right? Like they have something to prove. Pittsburgh, you barely got in, bro. Like you got in not on your own merit, like you got in because of somebody else. So you're just trying to play with the big boys. You're not a big boy yet. You just try and play with us.
But
So
your
like,
young boys just happy to be there.
yeah, and then like don't get me wrong. What makes them kind of dangerous is who cares if they lose? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a big deal for them. They're not looking for the. I'm not saying that they're not trying to go, but they're not. This is not Super Bowl year for them. Like, they're
Pittsburgh
not-
got the house money curse.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. No, like I think our offense is like them boys is locked in. They know what's at stake. They're not gonna take it lightly, and they gonna show them you in our house, like you in Buffalo. You came to us for a reason. We the number 2 seed, so I think their toughness is gonna be more tougher than the Pittsburgh's defense.
I think this game in itself is hilarious
Why?
because, you know, just a short time ago, 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, we were 6-6.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were whatever they were. We had a 14% chance of making the playoffs. They had something less than that.
Mm-hmm.
We were a 0.1% chance of winning the division. 0.1%. You know how close that is to just no way. No, what was Vince McMahon's song?
You
No
got
chance in hell.
chance. No chance.
So my thing is, you got 2 teams that are in the playoffs. One team won a division, and just 2 months ago they were an afterthought. People were talking about how McDermott was getting fired because the Bills were, you know, it was all over the media. Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, they all counted them out. And I mean, me too. You know, I did too. I didn't say we were horrible. I wasn't outside of the Denver game. I wasn't ready to fire the coach, but I thought, you know, let's start looking at 2024. So now we have a game at home. We got a game in the snow. We got a game where actually we got a path where we actually could make the Super Bowl.
Oh, 100%.
And so I'm sitting here. We're talking today not about off-season moves. We're not talking about, you know, the draft and next season. We're still talking about the now. So I think, to Mel's point, you were talking about I think you're going to go to their defense now.
So we win the offense-defense battle, but our defense, who was they scared of on Pittsburgh's offense? Mason Rudolph? I think not. Deontay Johnson? I think not. Pickens, like I said, he's good. He's probably the best player they got on offense.
Not
But
worried about him.
bro, if Mason Rudolph can't throw it to him,
Exactly.
I'm not worried about him.
he's out of the game.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean-
got Najee and Jalen Warren.
I mean, Fryermuth is playing in this one, isn't he?
Yeah. But
He snapped the thought too. He hasn't done anything.
yeah, last game he had 2 catches for 21 yards. Like nobody's they don't scare me at all. But I think we win that toughness battle too, defense versus their offense. You know what I'm saying? So I think in the toughness game, I think we win on both sides.
I love it. All right. That actually swings into my next question. In your minds, what is the most interesting positional matchup, Bills v. Steelers?
It'll probably be the running backs versus the linebackers.
That's a strong one.
I'm going D tackles versus the guards.
D tackles versus guards.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely D tackles versus the guards because
You got to win that one.
He
you
says
got
you
it.
gotta
That
get Rudolph
goes
off
into
his spot, yeah.
You got Simualu, Isaac Simualu. Sorry, dude. You got him. He was just destroying people. Najee Harris and the speed of Warren going up that gap. I mean, we're going to need Ed Oliver to bring everything he has. Daquan Jones, I hope their shoulder checks out, your chest checks out. Linval Joseph, you need to find a fountain of youth because we're going to need it. We can't call up, what's the name, Elianku. I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram post where we're just revolving around and around and around. The wheels on the bus, they go what? Round and round.
That song haunts my dreams.
It's still going to be in your mind. But I mean, the thing is, you got to have that beef. And like I said, if you can find a way to get them one-on-one, you got a game plan to get them one-on-one and not the tandem block by a tackle or a center. So I expect to blitz or show blitz and back off just for the center to think. Because the guards in themselves, they're good enough to contend with our D tackles, and that opens up a lot of lanes for their run game.
I'm gonna go off the reservoir or the reservation.
Don't go off the reservoir. I need you, man.
I know.
I need you.
The reservation, man. I'm gonna say the Bills linebackers versus the A and B gaps.
I think that feeds in exactly where. I mean,